welcome to another trade breakdown on EURUSD. I'm going to open my EURUSD chart and try our best to stick to the video from the beginning to the end. I won't want to make the video too lengthy because I don't want it to be boring. I will go straight to the point, to the main things that I'm seeing. So stay tuned and follow the video from beginning to the end. Okay, right now this is my EURUSD chart. Okay, I always like to start my analysis on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, I can see there's a break of structure and there's a reaction of this breaker block here. This breaker block, there's a reaction over it. So I expect EURUSD to react on that breaker block and potentially start selling, and that is what I'm expecting from EURUSD on the weekly time frame. And then on the weekly time frame, I can clearly see that there is a CRT formation. The CRT candle is forming on the weekly time frame, where this is our CRT high and this is our CRT low. This is a 3 candle sequence. So if you have been able to wait for this third candle to form, then you are actually a very good trader, right? Okay, that is what I'm expecting on the weekly time frame. Now this candle have accumulated, and then the moment this second candle went and tap into this key level, right, then the market now entered the reversal profile. So right now I'm expecting price to start selling based on this reversal profile that occurred when price tap into this breaker block. And then another thing is, I'm also looking at two things on the market, right? Let me go to the daily time frame. Since I am expecting sales on the weekly time frame, I also want to continue selling on the daily time frame, so that my analysis can look strong. So if the weekly and daily they are all selling, there will be a high chance that I'm going to be able to make some profit. Okay, now on this daily time frame, I can clearly see that there is a breaker. There's an FVG somewhere here. So this FVG is somehow going to be my short-term drawn liquidity. So I want to see price get into this FVG. So if price can get into this FVG, I expect price to then start selling. So right now my short-term drawn liquidity is that price should come and tap into this FVG before start selling towards the CRT low. So we can call this our FVG. That is my short-term drawn liquidity. So my short-term drawn liquidity is just like short-term drawn liquidity can be defined just as a retracement before prices moving towards our higher time frame drawn liquidity. So that's how I consider my short-term drawn liquidity, and considering combining my short-term drawn liquidity with my PDRs, right? It can make my analysis stronger because I'm going to be focusing on trading at PDRs. For instance, if I'm to sell, right, I'm going to focus on selling at premium, and if I am to buy, I'm going to focus on buying at discount. So that is my thought process on EU on the daily time frame. So if price can make it up to this fair value gap, I'm gonna be very happy because price is probably tapping to this premium PDR. So as to continue selling towards the CRT low. And then right now I can clearly see that the market is reacting towards this other block here. So that even makes my analysis even more stronger because this key level here is very strong and it is causing price to just continue selling. So that is a very good analogy, and that is what I'm expecting on EU. So EU can be doing So a lot of mistake a lot of traders make is, as soon as the market opens, they just want to start selling or start buying. So the best thing is to always wait for the Monday. Right now, today is Monday, so Monday is going to set the sentiment for the week. So if Monday if Monday closes well, then it's gonna be clean on Tuesday, and if Tuesday closes well, it's gonna be good on Wednesday. So, and if Wednesday closes well, it's gonna be good on Thursday. So what the market does, right, what the market does before the week starts is going to determine what the market does at the beginning of the week is going to determine how good or how bad the week is gonna be. So that is my thought process on EU. So if I can have a valid CRT on the daily time frame, then I'm going to also look for getting a valid CRT on the 4-hour time frame, and the 4-hour valid CRT has to be on the on the daily key level. So from there, I can further refine my entry to a 15-minute time frame. So that is how I align myself with the trend. So this is my thought process. So I'm pretty much expecting the same thing on the 4-hour time frame. I want to see how the 4-hour time frame is going to react on this fair value gap when the daily has already given me a clean analysis or a clean scenario in which I'm expecting. So looking at structure on the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly, when you look left right, you can clearly see that on the 4-hour time frame, EURUSD is now rejecting highs, and then is rejecting highs, right, and breaking lows. So whenever I see when I see the market rejecting highs and breaking lows, I consider the market to already be in a downtrend. So if you look left, you can clearly see that price was making lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high. Then price rejected this low. The moment price rejected this low, that is now shift in the market sentiment. So the market is rejecting these lows, right? Rejecting these lows, right? That is the market in a uptrend. That is market is making lower highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then the moment I see the market starting to make the moment I see the market starting to reject highs and then breaking lows, then that is a high chance, likely and surely the market is now in a downtrend. So the market is gonna continue doing the same thing. So that is one thing I like seeing when I'm also identifying my structure. So I always look left whenever I'm identifying my structure. I always look left. I look at how price action was behaving before the after. So I always like to see what price action is doing before the after. So if before the market was making lower lows, like here the market was making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower high, and then after the market is now making, for instance, if the market was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, now when the market starts to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, that means the market is now in a downtrend. So that is a very clean and clear scenario. And please try as much as possible to always look at the news and also understand this, the logic behind the price and what the news is also presenting, and try as much as possible to stick to the rules and make sure you follow proper risk management, because the market is always gonna humble you if you go all in. Always go in small and go for a risk reward of at least 1:3. That's my favorite. So looking at, you can see that today is a very volatile day. Today Monday is a very volatile day. So stay calm and protect your capital. Monday is not safe to trade. I don't actually trade on Mondays. So you can see Monday is very volatile. So one of the questions people always ask me is, whenever there's news, how do you position yourself? When you see CPI, when you see NFP, when you see PPI, when you see FOMC, are you going to trade? The simple answer is yes, I will trade, and it depends on my setup. If my setup presents itself and I notice that price is not close to the news, like few minutes or few hours close to the news, I'm going to consider taking my trade. My emotions are calm, I'll take my trade. And if I notice that my setup is presenting itself, that is during the news, I'm not going to take the trade, and I always play like that most of the time. So make sure you write everything that is important, and always stay tuned so that you don't miss any video in this channel. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I don't like making the video to be long. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you share and subscribe. So always make sure to stay with your notification on, so that whenever I'm dropping any video, you are going to notice it and you are going to watch it, and you'll be the first person to watch it.